Hey guys, Crypto Dad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins, going to move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. Well, welcome everybody. Hope everything's working. No technical difficulties tonight. I think the mics are unmuted and all the video cams appear to be working. Got a lot of stuff for you guys tonight. I might go late. If you're hardcore, you might want to just hang out with me for maybe an hour and a half or so. We'll see. But I got a lot of great stuff to talk about. Of course, I was in Paris, France this week at the Ledger Open, and I had a great time. My wife went with me, so we both had a great time exploring Paris. So I'll show you some pics from our adventures in Paris. It was really amazing. But of course, a lot of you are here just for crypto news. You don't really care who I am or what I do. That's fine. So in the beginning, I'm just going to cover the normal crypto news. And then if you get bored with my stories, you can take off and check other stuff out. But yeah, we'll talk about crypto news. There's some great adoption news. JP Morgan has come out with a new policy where they're going to be accepting Bitcoin. I don't know if any other cryptos, but maybe as collateral for loans, which will be held by a trusted third party. So you can put up your Bitcoin as collateral to get a loan through JP Morgan. And that's crazy because Jamie Dimon was one of the biggest enemies of Bitcoin and crypto through the 2017 to 2000. Gosh, I don't know when he started changing his tune, but well into the 2020s. So that's really amazing. And then CZ from Binance was pardoned by President Trump. So we're going to dive a little bit into that story. Of course, there is a lot of hardware wallet news. Ledger and Trezor both came out with new models. I talked to some people at Ledger Open that had actually gone to Prague and then from Prague to Paris. The two events were very close to each other. I have to admit that I was invited to Prague by Trezor, but just couldn't fit it in. Too much jet setting for me. It was stressful enough for me to book one flight to Europe and get myself back home again. But trying to jet set to Prague and then to Paris and then back home again, I just felt would be too complicated. So I ended up choosing one over the other. Not to take anything away from Trezor. I wish I could have been there, but I had to choose one or the other. We'll talk about that. Trezor introduced their Trezor Safe 7. Ledger introduced their Ledger Nano G5, a affordable touchscreen. So we'll talk about that. Ledger has also introduced several new software solutions within Ledger Live. They've renamed Ledger Live Ledger Wallet. They've got direct 1-inch swapping within Ledger Wallet. I'm going to attempt to get that squeezed in tonight. I've done it before, so it shouldn't be too bad. And then they also have a new onboarding, offboarding service that's going to be built directly into Ledger Live. So I'm going to try to cover all that wallet news as well. So stick around. It's going to be a great live stream. I'm going to do quite a bit of demos for you guys. And then, of course, I'm going to talk about my trip to Paris. So let's go in and let's switch over to this screen. And I want to welcome everybody that's here tonight. Let's see, where are we at here? In the live stream. So welcome, Kenny. Thank you for being here early as usual. And thank you for the news stories. I did use several of your news stories, but I also had some stories that only I knew about from Ledger Open. So I incorporated those in as well. So thanks for being here. M. Coot was here early talking about Paris. David is here. Andreas Ebert is here. Andreas visited the U.S. and he visited Houston, which I consider one of my hometowns. I was born in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but I grew up in Houston. My parents took me down there when I was 5 years old, and I didn't leave Houston till my early 20s, I believe. So yeah, I consider that a hometown. He was visiting friends in Houston and Katy, and I told him that I used to live in a village off the Katy Freeway. So this is the Katy Freeway. We call it the Katy Freeway in Houston, but it's I-10. It goes all the way across the country, actually. And here's Katy out here, this little podunk town. And then this is where I live. Now, I lived in lots of places in Houston, but when I was in, I believe, my sophomore and junior year of high school, we lived in Hedwig Village, this little area right here. And I went to Memorial High School, which is right here. And we lived on Joan of Arc. Here's Joan of Arc, and we lived in a house. I think the house is probably still there. I don't know if it's this house. Let's see if we can look at that. Yeah, I think it was this house right here. I kind of remember that pool. So yeah, that's where I lived in my high school days. And, you know, I just walked to school. So yeah, I won't get too caught up in that, but I did kind of want to touch base with you, Andreas, for and he said he knew someone in the Memorial area, and I forget which thing he was talking about here. Let's see. He was talking about enchiladas. That's great. Oh, West Hampton. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but congrats on your visit to Texas, and it's great. Roland Kane is here. Thanks for being here, Roland. Hans Hanna 350, Gregory Wieland, Just Have Fun, E. Poston from Colorado. Did have a great time in France. Dusted in Shadow. Giving away memberships, maybe. We'll see. But good to have you here always. I don't care if you give away memberships or not. I'm always glad to have you here. Fred McIntyre is here. Smash the like button. Joseph is here. Merci. Yeah, I'm going to talk about my experience in France, but what I really was surprised by was how many people spoke English and how many people were so nice and welcoming to my wife and I in all the shops in that neighborhood where we stayed. I'll see if I can find it in Paris. But yeah, it was pretty amazing. But I'll get to the crypto news first. Ekavuth from Thailand, good to have you here. Don Thies and Will. So if you've never been in the live stream before, I've got a description here. If you don't see all of this description, click more and you'll see it all. Oh, and by the way, Joseph, thank you so much for your kind donation. I really appreciate it. We're going to talk about all this stuff that happened at Ledger Live. And of course, I'm going to cover the crypto news. I've got some affiliate links down here. Let's see where we're at here. Yes, my landing page where you can pre-order the Ledger Nano Gen 5. They can't sell it in the U.S. yet because of the government shutdown. The FCC has to approve every product that is sold in the U.S. And so because of the government shutdown, that certification has been delayed. I tried clicking this board. It didn't take me anywhere. But that's why they're, and it looks like they're going to give you the $10 Bitcoin rebate for using my link. So that's cool. Of course, you can get all these other products now and still get that $10 Bitcoin rebate. And so that's really cool. Let's see, Tangem, using the links that I have in the description, you can still get 25% off the Tangem ring. So you'll notice here, if you click my link down there that has both of these checkout codes incorporated, well, there, Dustin in Shadow just gifted a membership to a lucky person, Dave Flowers. So kind of you. That was really cool. Okay, so yeah, you can get this great deal on the Tangem ring. And I don't know that they're giving away the Bitcoin anymore. I don't see that. That was pretty cool, but it doesn't look like they're giving away that Bitcoin rebate that they were. That was a pretty short little thing. I'm sure they'll bring it back though, but that's cool. And of course, Stampseed. I've got a link to Stampseed down there. It's not a special link. It's just a link to their website. But there is a CryptoDad checkout code that I showed you close to that link. Use that checkout code and you get a discount. I forget what it is. 15% off with the CryptoDad checkout code for a stamp seed, where you can stamp your seed phrase into titanium for safe and durable storage. I love stamp seed. You of course need to treat your seed phrase as you would a gold coin or a diamond ring or anything else. Write it down on paper, store it in multiple locations, but best practice would be to have at least one copy on a stamp seed for durable, fireproof, shockproof, fade-proof, waterproof storage. Cool thing. Let's see, am I done plugging stuff? I think so. Also, we've got an agenda. We got a whole bunch of stuff. I did want to thank Fred. Let's see. Fred McIntyre replied to someone in my video for the G5, which is one of my latest videos. I just dropped it. I made it public when I was in Paris. They sent me an advanced copy, and I was not allowed to talk about it, but I did the setup video for the Ledger Nano G5, and someone was complaining that it was too expensive. And Fred went in there and clarified, and Rex said it was an affordable touchscreen. And if you want something cheaper, you can get a Ledger Nano S Plus. There's a very eloquent reply to what I get a lot of trollers. And Fred ran in there to defend me, and I really appreciate it. You have to have a thick skin when you go on YouTube, because people in the comments can be very cruel. Even personal attacks, and just a lot of trolls and people. Not even there are people that you might think are trolls that are just normal people that just disagree with you, that say mean things too, and that I don't consider that really a troll per se. But yeah, they're there, and so thank you for that, Fred. I appreciate that. Also, I'm looking at the wrong. My latest video, which I just talked about, all these affiliate links, and I've linked all the news stories. So let's jump into the news before the time slips away from us. The big story here: JP Morgan allows clients to pledge Bitcoin and Ether as collateral, according to Bloomberg. JP Morgan Chase plans to allow institutional clients to use Bitcoin and Ether as collateral for loans by the end of the year. This is October. This is coming up soon. This move is part of a broader trend of financial institutions integrating digital assets into their service. And, as I mentioned in the opening, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Chase Bank, was a huge enemy of crypto, Bitcoin, and crypto over the years. He said horrible things. He even badmouthed his own daughter for having the temerity to buy it. But now he's changed his tune, and his company is allowing Bitcoin to be used as collateral for loans. So what a turnaround, guys. Investment banking, JP Morgan Chase plans to let institutional collateral. I've already talked about that. Tokens pledged under the global program will be safeguarded by a third-party custodian, and extends JP Morgan's earlier move to accept crypto-linked ETFs as loan collateral. The development reflects the rapidly growing integration of digital assets into Wall Street's core lending infrastructure. With Bitcoin hitting record highs this year and regulatory hurdles easing under the current administration, major banks like JP Morgan are shifting from skepticism to actively incorporating crypto into their financial services. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Another big story of adoption here. Rumble is to roll out Bitcoin tipping for 51 million users in December. The feature is developed with Tether and was announced at the Plan B forum in Lugano, Switzerland. The first BTC tip was sent to content creator David Freiheit. So set to launch this Bitcoin tipping feature directly in its app. Apparently you can just send Bitcoin to an address and tip a creator directly in Rumble, built into their app. Pretty cool. The feature was developed in collaboration with Tether and announced at the Plan B forum. I already told you that. Tether has invested $775 million in Rumble and plans to use the platform to promote its USAT stablecoin to 100 million Americans. Big adoption news. Pretty cool. I think there was here's I'm not going to run the video, but this is the historic first. Lugano Plan B became at the Viva Frey, became the first creator tipped through the Rumble wallet. Freedom meets finance. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. Pretty cool stuff on the adoption front. Now, Trump pardoned CZ for his crime of being a crypto exchange owner, basically. Following the pardon, CZ said he would do everything we can to make America the central of crypto and advanced Web3 worldwide. There's a lot of confusion around this conviction and this pardon. So this is more about Trump here. Let me see if I can find. Yeah. Okay, we'll check that second. Okay, so why did Trump pardon him? Yeah, U.S. President Donald Trump said he pardoned Binance founder Changpeng or CZ Zhao after lobbying and support from a lot of people. We didn't say who. He told him CZ wasn't guilty. The pardon was signed on Wednesday, and Binance confirmed the presidential order to Cointelegraph in a statement. During a news conference on Thursday, Trump said he chose to pardon the Binance founder because he was recommended by a lot of people, had a lot of support, and people say that he wasn't guilty of anything. Boom. I don't know him. I don't believe I've ever met him, but I've been told he has a lot of support and that they said what he did is not even a crime. It wasn't a crime. He was persecuted by the Biden administration. Former administration actions under the microscope. Zhao was given a 4-month prison sentence after pleading guilty to one count of violating the U.S. Bank Secrecy Act for failing to maintain an effective anti-money laundering program. That does not mean he was guilty of money laundering. It means he failed to maintain an effective anti-money laundering program. CZ's attorney, Teresa Guillemet, on Saturday said the pardon was the right call because her client had a single charge of failure to have an effective compliance program. No fraud, no victims, no criminal history, no money laundering. CZ is the first and only known first-time offender in U.S. history to receive a prison sentence for this single non-fraud related charge. The judge found no evidence that he knew of any illicit transactions and that it was reasonable for him to believe there were no illicit funds on the platform. Thank you for your responsible, accurate reporting. So, So following the pardon, CZ took to X and said he was deeply grateful and would do everything we can to help make America the capital of crypto and advanced Web3 worldwide. As part of his plea deal with authorities, CZ was forced to step down as CEO of Binance and was prohibited from working at the exchange. A pardon could allow him to rejoin Binance. So we got to talk a little bit about Senator Warren, the anti-crypto advocate, and she talked trash about CZ And the Binance founder replied to Elizabeth Warren saying she can't get her facts right after she claimed he pled guilty to a money laundering charge. Binance co-founder Shangzhen Zhao fired back at Elizabeth Warren after she claimed he pleaded guilty to a money laundering charge. Zhao wrote on that she can't get her facts straight. There were no money laundering charges. We just talked about this. What he did plead guilty to was just a compliance charge, a lack of sufficient compliance, and received a 4-month sentence. The same senator declared war on crypto on public TV 5 days before my sentencing. Need a better example of weaponization of Biden's DOJ against crypto. He's got a good point there. We're also, this charge is also being leveled by one of the biggest pharmaceutical industry shills in Congress. She probably has received more money from the pharmaceutical industry than any other senator. I think Bernie Sanders is a close second, or maybe he's first and she's second. I'm not sure. But yeah, talking about the crypto industry and corruption, playing semantics. Here we go. In her post, Warren went on to say that Zhao financed President Donald Trump's stablecoin and lobbied for a pardon. This followed the Binance co-founder saying that he wouldn't mind a pardon from Trump. Back in mid-July, Zhao also threatened to sue Bloomberg over a report linking him to the Trump-backed USD1 stablecoin. Elizabeth Warren is not the only outraged lawmaker. Maxine Walters. It's funny how why is it only the Democrats that are anti-crypto? I don't get it. It seemed to be an issue that would fall, along political lines, but for some reason it does. But anyway, yeah, Democrats are outraged that Trump pardoned CZ, and let's not delve too far into that. Will this mean that Binance comes to the U.S.? Currently, you can use Binance US, which is a small separate company associated with Binance, but managed by a completely different company, and doesn't have access to Binance's liquidity. So we could see Binance proper back in the US. That would really be amazing. I used Binance for many years before it was blocked from US users, and it's a great cryptocurrency exchange. You've got lots of brand new coins that they're hard to find anywhere else, and a lot of liquidity, so it's really easy to trade on Binance. I wish I could still use it. It would be great if Binance can return to the US. That would be really cool. So it might just happen now that the regulatory environment has undergone a sea change, right? So really interesting crypto stuff. All right, Dan is here. Thank you, Dan, for being here. It's good to have Dan, our moderator, here. It's great to have you, Dan. Let's see. Let's get into all this. We're going to get into the wallet news. This is kind of a blurb story. I didn't realize that it wasn't that in depth until after I had posted it down below. But it does sort of cover the major crypto hardware wallet news. Hardware wallet giants Ledger and Trezor released major product updates on October 23rd, introducing next-generation security features designed to protect crypto assets against emerging threats. The release comes as Bitcoin... we don't care about that much. Ledger's Nano G5 is a brand overhaul, and the company has dropped the term hardware wallet in favor of ledger signers. Tony Fadell, who created the iPod, designed the new device, which in Ledger's view is a transaction signing tool rather than a standalone storage solution. So a lot of transitional language, and at the Ledger Open, I heard a lot of this, and it's a good thing. I've been harping on this issue for many years, and Ian Rogers, who is their chief experience officer, brought up this issue that so many people consider a Ledger device some kind of crypto vault, and they put it in a safe for years. And Ledger CEO Pascal also said that a Ledger device has evolved from a buy and hold device to a do everything digital device. Not just crypto, but digital identities. The world is changing, and we're becoming more connected every day. And now we have an internet of value, right? The original internet innovation was an internet of information, and now we're actually moving value across the internet or across the blockchain. So phones and computers were designed to share information. They are not security devices. So you should not be using a hot wallet on your computer or on your phone to manage your digital value. You should be using a specialized device that keeps the private key offline. But we still want to be able to interact with Web3 and send and receive our value and use our digital value to buy things in the real world safely and securely, and also authenticate ourselves on different website platforms like Coinbase and Kraken, but even all this will be integrated. This digital signing will be integrated into many different types of platforms. We may even see digital identification or digital IDs on Facebook and Amazon in the future. So we'll see. I don't mean to play this down, but Trezor Safe 7 was also introduced, coming in at $249, brings in dual secure element chips as the first Trezor wallet capable of wireless connection to iPhones and Bluetooth devices, a sure sign of growing institutional demand for secure self-custody solutions as regulatory clarity improves. Meanwhile, decentralized perpetual futures platforms crossed above 1 trillion in volume for October, a milestone that shows that DeFi is maturing beyond simple token swaps. So here's the Ledger Nano G Gen 5. I did a video on that, which I referred to earlier. Comes in at $179 and includes a Ledger recovery key. So the Ledger recovery key is a great value. It's a digital backup, a pin-protected digital backup that you can supplement your seed phrase with for quick and easy restores, backups and restores. So it costs $40 standalone, and they're just throwing it in with this device. They're throwing it in with all their touchscreen devices. So pretty cool. Of course, it's got an EAL6 Plus secure element chip, the Ledger OS firmware. It's got a really easy-to-use touchscreen interface, active TFT e-ink display. Includes, you use it with Ledger Wallet. We'll talk about that a little bit. It's got clear signing and transaction check, which are anti-fraud features and improvements in the interface when you sign transactions. So an incredible value. Of course, we've got the other Ledger touchscreens, the Ledger Flex and the Ledger Stacks, that come in at higher prices. They're a little more upscale devices. The Gen 5 scaled down the case from metal to plastic. It also doesn't have any sounds. There's another scale back. And it doesn't have magnets that allow you to stack the devices. It does have magnets for the folio case if you need a folio case for this. And the screen, the PPI of the screen is a little bit lower. That's not a big spec out there, but it is the resolution on the screen is slightly lower. I noticed that on the picture. When I used to work at a computer store, and we sold Apple computers back before they had Apple stores, back in the 90s. I'm dating myself. But whenever some new device came out, some new computer came out, all the Apple specs were positive, right? So as a salesman, I had to weed through all of the specs to figure out what the trade-offs were or what the cons were when customers came in, so that I could explain to them, okay, well, this is a great new computer, but it doesn't do this, or whatever. So I'm always looking for the trade-offs. So I think the trade-offs are pretty good in order to get the price down, I'm considering. And then let's talk about the Trezor Safe 7, the hardware wallet that redefines crypto security. All of the previous Trezor devices didn't have batteries and could not interface using Bluetooth. So they were somewhat limited compared to Ledger. So this new device can use Bluetooth and can be used mobily, right? I'm assuming, it's wireless, right? So you can use it wirelessly, which means it must have a battery since, if it's used wirelessly, it has to stay charged, right? So it has a battery. They're claiming that it's quantum-ready security. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but that's what they say. They don't really go into a lot of detail about this. They talk about the next-gen secure chip, the Tropic 01, which sets a new standard with radically transparent crypto protection and the most advanced hardware security ever created. They're claiming that it's open source and auditable open source, which is a big issue when it comes to open source hardware. I don't know that they've actually solved this conundrum, but what I'm trying to lay this out for you here is that if you have a hardware device and you have open source firmware on this device, you can audit the open source firmware on GitHub, but there's no way to actually know that the hardware running on the device that you buy is the same code that you audited once it gets on the hardware, because it goes through several transformations. It has to be compiled. It has to be burned onto some kind of silicon, and then transferred into this secure element chip. So the conundrum here is that it's really difficult to audit the code that's actually running on the hardware. I hope I got that straight. When they say auditable, I'm not sure exactly what that means either, or how it's auditable, but they're claiming that it is. So that's the positive, right? It has a dual secure chip, right? Trezor Safe 7 combines the Tropic 01 chip with an additional NDA-free EAL6 Plus secure element for the strongest physical protection in the industry. Notice here that the Tropic 01 secure element chip does not say that it's EAL6 Plus certified, right? It doesn't say that because it's not, right? It's a relatively new chip manufacturing, secure element chip manufacturing company. So take that into consideration as well. Now this NDA free, a lot of people think that means open source. Not necessarily. It just means that Trezor does not have to sign an NDA with the secure element chip that they buy from this company. I forget the name of the company that you can see here. There's 2 secure element chips. So most companies that use secure element chips have to sign an NDA with the chip manufacturer not to reveal their internal code, because this is proprietary information. So Trezor is devoted to an open source architecture as much as possible, and so they don't like having to sign an NDA, so they found a chip company that allows them to have an NDA-free chip, which basically just means that they're not prohibited from exposing any vulnerabilities that they may find. But that still doesn't mean necessarily that the chip is open source. It just means that it's an NDA-free chip, which is EAL6 certified. So those are the 2 new things. Let's also talk about Ledger Wallet. Ledger Wallet is the new name for Ledger Live. I'm not sure, though. I tried to download it earlier today, and when I did, it just downloaded as Ledger Live Desktop. So it's claiming that it's Ledger Wallet now, but the installer still says it's Ledger Live, and when I installed it, it still opens up as Ledger Live. So, and it still calls itself Ledger Live up here in the corner. So I'm sure they'll get those little things ironed out, and the naming convention will be more integrated when you install the software. But that's the big change at Ledger, is that they're not calling their devices wallets anymore. They're calling them signers, and the software is called Wallet, Ledger Wallet Desktop. It's always been that way. And I've explained it many times in my videos and in my live streams that the device itself is not the wallet. It's just the keys to the wallet. And if you want to think about a cryptocurrency wallet, it combines the hardware device with the software. I get a lot, and the idea of calling the device the wallet has confused a lot of people. I still get people asking me, why can't I see my balance on this thing? I just transferred some crypto, but I can't see my balance on the device. Well, that's because the device doesn't show your balance. It's a signer. That's all it does. It shows you the information you need to securely sign your transactions. If it showed you your balance, then it would have to be connected to the internet in order to retrieve the balance on the blockchain, and they also want to see their dollar value. That would be all kinds of internet connections for that. So the software is connected to the internet. It has the public-facing information of the wallet. So that's the big thing with Ledger Wallet Desktop. I'm not sure how much Trezor Suite has changed with this new device, and it's only available for pre-order, so I haven't had a chance to play with it. I've asked them if they would send me one, so hopefully they'll send me one. They're probably in high demand and short supply right now. I might end up breaking down and just pre-ordering one. So that's it. And then also, I wanted to cover, let's see. Oh, okay, we're back over here. We're still not through the whole news, right? Introducing Ledger Wallet, where digital ownership becomes usable. Ledger Wallet is a powerful desktop and mobile app for managing your digital assets. I have this blog post linked down below if you want to read through it. It's packed with game-changing features, including a direct fiat on-ramp, which lets you move instantly from your bank or paycheck. One-click connectivity with 1inch from within Ledger Live or Ledger Wallet now. There's a 1inch app, and it's you connect directly to 1inch through Ledger Live and the 1inch app, so there's nothing in between you and your Ledger wallet, right? You're directly signing transactions with your device on 1inch, right? You don't have to connect to the 1inch website, right? So it's more secure that way. And then this cash to stablecoin thing provided by Noah, it's not implemented yet. But according to this article, you will be able to onboard stablecoin directly into your Ledger wallet. And they have some instructions here which don't work yet. I don't think this functionality is live yet, but it will be soon. So now you won't even have to use a crypto exchange as your fiat on-ramp, right? You can buy stable coins. They'll come right into your wallet, and then you can trade for other tokens like Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever you want to purchase within Ledger Live, and that's secure enclave, right? So a lot of great changes coming to the Ledger ecosystem. Wow, a lot of great stuff. Let me just catch up here. How about the picture of Maxine Waters and Sam Bankman-Fried in Congress? I like that one, Paul. That's pretty good. Yeah, all these crypto. Can Americans use Binance again? Don't think so. Yeah, that's a big if. We'll see. Why wouldn't the guy offered an opportunity to put the anti-laundering procedure in place? That's right. I agree with that, Jay on YouTube. Looks like, did I visit the Louvre while I was there? Yes, I did. So let's go through my pictures. We were all over Paris. So I'll start with our trip to Paris, right? And then I'll talk about Ledger Open, right? So my trip to Paris, I'm not sure what this building is. I think it's called the Citadel. But I'm not sure. We were all over Paris. Let me see if I can do this real quick. We were in Houston here. Where were we? I know we were in, where'd it go? Maybe I was over here. Yeah. So yeah, I was showing you guys Houston. Let's go over to Paris. If we can find Paris here and see if I can find. Now, okay. So here's the River Seine. It does University Notre Dame. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, it's over here. Okay, so yeah, we were, this is Rue de Temple, which is the street that Ledger is on. And let me see if I can find the 1K. Okay, here we go. All right, so there was our hotel, the 1K, pretty cool place. And we walked down to the Seine and visited some Roman ruins, which were kind of hard to find. I'm not sure if that's them or not, but I got pictures. Because it was a Roman city before it was Paris. I forget the name of it, but there are some Roman ruins that they discovered of an amphitheater and some baths. We went to the amphitheater, but we also checked out the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is pretty cool. And we went to a lot of different, so that's where we were in Paris, in the traditional Paris area. So yeah, there I am at the Citadel, I guess. That's a dinner that we had near our hotel. That's our dessert. It was just unbelievable, the food. And the waiter was just so knowledgeable and so nice. And he spoke fluent English. But I loved listening to him describe all they only had a few items on the menu because they didn't have like one of these, book menus like the Cheesecake Factory where you've got like a, 15-page menu. They just had like specials. So like a choice of like 3 different entrees. But anyway, they had like 4 desserts and it was incredible. This was like ice cream with goat cheese. I mean, I love cheese and I love ice cream, and I've never tasted anything so amazing. My wife got more of a chocolate kind of a thing. This is the dining area of the river cruise that we took the day before the keynote, right? I think this picture shows it. This boat was along the Seine River in Paris, and we all the influencers that were invited got on this boat and had this great dinner with all the Ledger bigwigs. It was so cool. There I am there on the boat. And then there I am with my lovely wife as the boat was going past the Eiffel Tower at night. It was kind of foggy, so we couldn't see the whole thing, but that's a great picture of us. And then that's the Eiffel Tower from the boat. It was just amazing at night. There I am at the Louvre. We didn't go in because we looked for tickets to the Louvre, and they're like all booked up for like a month. So, I mean, if I wanted to go to the Louvre, I should have bought a ticket in advance. My dog is upstairs howling, I can hear. There I am at Ledger Open, hanging out with people at Ledger. I didn't take a whole bunch of pictures because the first day, the tour, I'm not the kind of person that like walks around with a camera everywhere. So I just like to enjoy. One of the other influencers actually had his cameraman with him. But yeah, my wife didn't go that day. She went the next day. There's one of the panels from Ledger Open. There we are. There's a picture of us in one of their little booths about seed phrases. I'll talk about that thing a little bit. And that's one of the restaurants we went to. Beef boogie. I can't even say it. Beef bourguignon. It was really cheap. So, I mean, this place was just packed. Look, all these people lining up. We had to wait for like half an hour to get in there. And there I am at the Roman ruins there that we went to first. It was an ancient Roman amphitheater where they actually did gladiatorial combat. There I am in front of the Notre Dame Cathedral. Cool stuff. There's my Ledger swag bag, and you'll notice they gave me a Ledger flex. Just an amazing swag bag. I'm wearing one of those t-shirts right now, and some keychains, some socks, a book by Louis Vuitton on exploring Paris, some caps, just an amazing thing. There we are. That's our dinner at that restaurant we had that first night. They gave us French fries and with a pumpkin dip, and I forget what this was. It was some vegetables of some kind, but it was just amazing. I had the ribeye, and my wife had pork roast. Just incredible food there. This is the view from the top of the Ledger headquarters. The Ledger headquarters is a beautiful building on Rue du Temple in central Paris, and you get this when you go up on the roof. There's just this amazing view, like all over Paris. We went to this church too, but this is the view from Ledger headquarters. You can see the Eiffel Tower from the top of Ledger headquarters. Just incredible. There we are. That's kind of a close-up when we got really close on the boat. We went to these bakeries. They were just amazing. I just love bread. I even brought some bread back. When we went through customs, the guy's like, "You have anything to declare?" And I was like, "Yeah, we've got bread," because it wasn't prepackaged. It was a loaf of bread that I bought fresh, and then it was in the bag. I closed the bag, but so we declared it coming through customs. Great bread. I got a little raspberry croissant. There we are at that church. I can't remember the name of it right now, but that's incredible. There it is a little further down. Uber worked great in Paris. There we are close to that church having some crepes. I got like a cheese crepe with a bunch of different cheeses, and my wife got I think hers had ham and eggs in there. There's my Ledger Nano G5. My little tag there. we're going to talk about that stuff. There I am with my wife holding that device at Ledger Open. There was like this was a wall screen where they had like a thermal picture of you, which is pretty awesome. There's that beef bourguignon, my dinner. And my wife had like pork ribeye. I don't know why I like beef and she likes pork, at least in Paris. That, was the, and that's it. I think those are all the pictures. So an incredible time we had in Paris, incredible time at Ledger Open. So I've kind of, and I did want to talk about these little trams. When we were up at this church, Sacre Coeur Basilica is the name of the church, but there's a name of the neighborhood, Montmartre. There it is. Montmartre is the neighborhood. We took an Uber up there, but then trying to get down was like impossible because of the traffic. So we took these little trams down from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill, and then we were able to get an Uber once we got down. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. So I think I've covered all of that. So, yeah, so I did. Simona, I did go to Montmartre. I got real French fries, a lot of great stuff. I don't drink. I stopped drinking beer last year in July of 24, and it just got old for me. Always having to worry about, did I have enough beer in the fridge? I didn't drink to oblivion, and I didn't spend my rent money on alcohol, but I did waste a lot of money on wine when I went through my wine drinking phase back in 21 or 22. I was like heavy into buying, great wine. I loved wine, but it was kind of an expensive habit. But yeah, I stopped drinking a little over a year ago, and I feel much better. So no, I did not drink any wine when I was in Paris. Okay, so also at Ledger, I have to mention this. Let me see if I can. Oh, I closed that thing already. All right, let me go back to this real quick. I don't have his picture. Well, I don't want to dox him anyway. But when I was at Ledger Open, let's just put it here. When I was at Ledger Open, I met several Ledger employees, like, for instance, my rep, Heba, who I've only seen online. I met her in person. That was great. But I met several Ledger employees that came up to me and said, we love your channel. We've been watching your channel for a long time. And it was really nice to meet them, and they made me feel so special. When you're sitting in your house in Michigan, posting YouTube videos, and YouTube is like, there's just so many billions of hours of content that get uploaded to YouTube. It's easy to get lost in the shuffle and not feel special, right? But when I was at the Ledger Open, there are several employees, very nice people. I'm not going to dox them. But they came up to me and said, hey, I've been watching your channel for years, and we really love your content, and, we think you're cool, and it's great to meet you in person. It's like they were meeting a celebrity. I remember one of them that worked in the London office told me, when I first joined Ledger, I didn't know anything about their products, and so I went on YouTube and found your videos to teach me how to use Ledger products. So that was just great validation, made me feel great. Let's go back over here real quick. So I got a lot of cool swag. I'm wearing my Ledger Open t-shirt. Let's see if the overhead works tonight. Is the overhead going to work? Yeah, you can sort of, I don't know what's going on there. There we go. Yeah, so you can see my Ledger Open t-shirt. It's got a little icon on the back. So pretty cool swag that I got from Ledger. All right, you saw my Yeah, you saw my picture earlier of the swag that they got me. So they threw in a Ledger Flex. I saw somebody else that got a Ledger G5, but I had got an advanced copy, so I'm okay with that. I received an advanced copy of the Ledger Nano G5. Pretty cool. And something special about this that I'll show you in the overhead real quick. They also, you can see that I have a tag on mine. I don't know if the camera's going to adjust for me, but I have a little badge on mine that's like an old, it's a Ledger Nano X, it looks like. And they gave that one to me special custom. I don't know how many other people got that one, but I feel pretty nice about that. And I bought some of these other tags, so we'll open one of these. These tags were designed, I want to make sure I get her name right. Okay, I think it's over here. No, that's not it. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, Susan Kerr. Okay, so Susan Kerr designed these tags, this iconography. Susan Kerr designed some of the original Mac icons, and it was just a really incredible designer. She worked with Tony Fadell back in the day, and so Tony couldn't think of a better person to design these original series of badges. Now, these badges, of course, can have other designs on them too, maybe down the road, but this first inaugural batch, and there's 3, I only have 2, so there's 3 tags in each box, so total of the 9 tags that you can buy right now on Ledger for your Nano G5. But as I was leaving, my wife and I were leaving the night of the after party, and as we were on our way out, I caught one of the Ledger employees and that I hadn't introduced to my wife yet, or maybe I had, but I wanted to say goodbye, and she was there talking with Susan. I don't want to get her name wrong. She's a great person, and I had a chance to talk to her. It was just amazing. I used to sell Macs back at a Apple authorized reseller back before they had Apple stores. Right around the time I was working at that store when they came out with the original iMacs, the color bubble iMacs, and I was working at that store when the original iPod came out. They also had a PDA called the Newton, which we sold, which was kind of a failure product. But yeah, so I was there in the old days, and I remember I would go back into the service area quite a bit, got to know the service guy, and he'd let me tinker around with the Macs. And there was an icon of a Mac that crashed that had an X over its eyes. I forget I think there was Sad Mac too, which was just a little a Mac icon with a little frown. But there was also Dead Mac that had the X's over its eyes. And when I had a chance to talk to her, I said, "Did you design that icon with the Dead Mac?" And she goes, "Yes, I did. I designed that, and the guys at Apple told me that would never happen." And I told her, I'm like, I've seen that icon many times, on multiple machines. So it was just so cool meeting the actual person that designed that little Mac icon. All right, so let's open one of these, and I'll show you how these badges work. So let's go over to our table demo. Let's put this camera down. Sorry, guys. See if I can get this out of the way without too much ado. That seemed to work okay. My mic here is loose. Let me see if I can tighten this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so before we open up a badge, and I'll show you what that means, let me show you a little bit of my swag. As I mentioned, I've got the Ledger Flex, a brand new Ledger Flex from Ledger. It's pretty cool. This is not swag. This is just a Ledger recovery key. But they did send me 3 of these. I asked for a 3-pack, so that's pretty cool. This is the little card that I had to buy to go down that tram that I talked about at Montmere, I think it was called. That little side of the hill tram. That was pretty cool. This is, of course, my Ledger. What's going on here? Oh, there it is. My Ledger Nano Flex. I'm sorry, my Ledger Nano G5 next gen, Gen 5 they call it, with a tag. Maybe I got that out of order. This little necklace. I don't know if you can see this thing. Now that I've moved the camera, it's not going to work. But I have this necklace that's got a little horseshoe on it. It's kind of hard to see. Incredibly, you can't see this. It's too small. But this is the package that it came in. There was this. There were these guys there that were saying something about your. What if your 24 seed phrase wasn't random and that it was handed down by the crypto gods or something like that? It was a whole spiel. And then they had this vending machine where you could go choose. There were a bunch of these in the, there were a bunch of these. Well, you can look at them here, it's better. There were a bunch of these in the vending machine, and they'd said, if, choose, they were all the same, of course, on the outside, but all of the entries had different numbers. So the idea was that you would come up and choose a random number, whatever number you chose, to get your thing to fall. And that was kind of like had been sent to you. And so you got this little personalized poem here, which is pretty interesting. I didn't read the whole thing. Oh, but it incorporates a 24-word seed phrase. And I'm assuming all these words are valid in the 24 BIP 39 24-word list of 2,048 words. So pretty interesting. I could not find this company online, this Seeded Prophecies company. I don't know if they worked for Ledger or if it was something else. Well, it looks like a Ledger. It's just kind of an open Ledger, open branded thing, but I think it was a third-party company. So that was pretty cool, and I took some pictures there. You saw that picture of my wife and I with the seed phrase words behind me. Let's see where we're at here. These are my security bracelets that were required to get in. I think one of them fell. I don't see. Oh, here. Every day you needed to get a new security badge. So I have one of these. I believe that this one was for my guided tour with the other influencers the day before the event. And then I needed one to get into the keynote event, the Ledger Open event, and then I needed another one for the after party. And it was not easy. They had sent us an invitation through some kind of third party, Luma, and I had not done all the proper steps to generate my QR code, and they weren't going to let me in. They had some pretty burly French private security guys that wouldn't even let you in the door. So I saw some Ledger employees out there because they were having trouble getting people in. Ian got me past the door guards, but then to get inside I needed a bracelet and I needed my QR code. So another Ledger employee came up and helped me get my app properly installed and logged into so that I could show them the QR code for my invitation to get my bracelet to get into the after party. So it was quite an experience. I really enjoyed all of that. And then this is my badge that got me. This was when we did the back tour. So I had just a wonderful time, and I hope you guys enjoy hearing about that stuff. Let's take a look at these badges. So as you can see, I have this badge here, which is a Ledger. Looks like a Ledger Nano X. Maybe it's an S. I don't know. And then it will come out here. You press it from the back, and then you can take it out. Right. So that's the custom one that I got. Yeah, and so I have this, I told you about this horseshoe necklace, which you can't see. Well, let's see if I can take it off here. Get it off. This, I am not normally a jewelry wearer, so it's not going to be easy for me. Oh, I did it. Look at me. Okay. So this is the necklace that I got at the Ledger Open. It has Ledger on one side, but of course I chose the horseshoe, so it has the horseshoe on the other side. An iconograph horseshoe designed by Susan Kerr. Awesome. Let's see, I got my knife over here. Let's see what we got in here. So I got this thing open. I'm probably going to have to tear this whole thing apart. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Okay. So these are some of the new badges that you can buy. So I'm going to put on the horseshoe. Looks like it's got some paper on it. Is it just me? Oh. Oh, okay. So this thing looks a little more... Huh. Okay. Oh, it's the same. Okay, I didn't notice this little button over here to make it snap in. Okay. So yeah, what's right side up for a horseshoe? Okay, so it should look like a U, right? So I'll turn it this way, and then we'll just pop it in here. And there we go. So personalized badge for the Ledger Nano G5. Pretty cool. Very interesting. There was a lot of talk about, and to listen to Susan Kerr and Tony Fadell talking about why people buy products. And there's a lot of OG people in crypto that are very focused on the functionality. But in general, in the general population, and as people get onboarded into crypto, we're going to see more and more of this. People want to own things that they think are nice and beautiful and personalized. I don't use a case on my iPhone, but there's when you walk around anywhere on any city street and you see people carrying their phones, they have very personalized phone cases because it's kind of a personal choice for them, to something that's aesthetic, that they like and that other people will see and think is cool. So that is a big part of any type of product. And to sort of coldly, here I've got this camera moved on, to sort of coldly look at a Ledger or any crypto hardware signer device and just look at it as functional only and not consider its touch and its feel. It's just it's only part of the picture. So, Ledger has designed this new device to be a little more aesthetic and allow you to, and I've got marks all over this and scratches because it's been in my pocket. I'm going to have to order a new one so that it'll be more pristine, get a case for it. But yeah, it's been through a lot, right? It's been all the way to Paris and back. But it's just an amazing little device, and it's cool that you can get these badges to personalize it. And I think that's really cool. The badges are like $20 each, and you can order them from Ledger. So a really awesome thing. Just cool as heck. Let's see. I wanted to let's go back to the itinerary to see where we're at. Like I told you, we're probably run a little over. If you guys have stuff to do, that's cool. But I did. This is Susan Kerr actually at the keynote, talking about why products succeed or fail. She's a beautiful person. It was great meeting her, like I said. But let's go back to our itinerary and see what I haven't done yet. Okay, so I talked about thanking Fred in there. I've given you my report from Ledger Open to a certain extent. As I mentioned, we got a tour of the facilities the day before the keynote or the actual event, which I felt very privileged to be a part of. They took us up on the roof. I showed you pictures of the rooftop view. They took us to a faux donjon. The donjon is where the Ledger engineers crack into their own wallets looking for vulnerabilities, and they crack into other wallets. That's all they do all day long. But they couldn't take us to the real donjon. They had like a demo set up, and they showed us all the steps of how you crack into wallets. And one of the first steps was they have to scrape the outer covering of silicon chips off so they can look at the circuitry and the architecture, and that's like one step. And then after that, they use a microscope to map out the circuits. And then the next step is, I forget the name of it, but they use an oscilloscope to look at the electromagnetic emanations when attempting to enter seeds. There's a special term for it, but I forget it now. And after they've looked at those electromagnetic waves to get some idea of how the machine responds to different inputs, then the next step would be side channel attacks, where they actually take advantage of the information that they've gathered during that phase of looking at the emanations. The timing attack, I think maybe that's what they call it. And then they also do software attacks where they actually analyze the crypto algorithms or the encryption algorithms. They did that with Trust Wallet, if you remember. A couple years back, Ledger reported that Trust Wallet had a tiny bug in their code that allowed an attacker to that allowed them to that made their key generation less random. So they actually warned Trust Wallet that, hey, your little algorithm is not generating completely random keys. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but that's part of what they do is software analysis. And then well, of course, they gave us lunch, and we got to see the. They have rooms where the employees can play music, and they have like an area where they sell their products. They have a little shop there, so we got to see all of that. And then, of course, the actual keynote I would encourage you to watch. It's on YouTube. I'll put that down in the chat box here. And down in the description here, let me put that. I'll just put that here. That's the entire Ledger Open event, from the opening, the keynote with Pascal, the CEO, and a French minister, and then Charles Guillemet, Charles Guillemet, the CTO, and then the announcement of the Ledger Nano G5. I showed you my swag. I demoed the tags. We did that. All right. So I want to convert some BNB to UST. Someone at the very beginning of the live stream said something about, let's scroll back up to this, because I want to bring this up for all of you crypto holder OGs, right? So I don't know if M. Coot is still in here, but he was in earlier, talking about holding some Vertcoin, and then he talked about Feathercoin and Kin, and he said holding long term. Now, I don't know what Vertcoin is worth, but I used to have some I still have some Vertcoin, but it's no longer supported in Ledger Live. Ledger Live used to have a Vertcoin app, but now they don't. So it's kind of a red flag when your coin starts to lose support, when like it's no longer supported in Wallet X. Rabby Wallet discontinued support for some of the coins that I had. And now you may say, so buying and holding long term is not always the best strategy, because your coin could not only become worthless, but become unusable in general, right? You could probably still find a wallet where you can access your Vertcoin, or like a third-party wallet that you can connect your device to access the Vertcoin. And I think I jumped through all those hoops, but that Vertcoin that I have is like only worth like $20 now, so it's not even worth the trouble. So you may say, oh, well, that's just little small obscure coins, right? Careful, don't hold them forever, because not only will they be worthless, but you won't even be able to sell them even if you wanted to. So because they're no longer supported on exchanges and wallets. So don't just buy coins and think they're, and just hold them and forget about them. That's not a good strategy. And here's a really good example here. If you bought BNB back in 2017 or 2018 on the Beacon chain, Binance chain stopped supporting Beacon chain completely, right? Beacon chain has been shut down at this block on December 3rd, 2024. So I had a guy asking me, hey, I've got a whole bunch of BNB on Beacon chain. And now BNB coin is the number 4 or number 5 crypto by market cap. It's $1,100 per BNB coin, right? But he cannot access his holdings because it's on the old chain. And the wallet that he was using doesn't support Beacon chain anymore. It was on his Trust wallet. And so you have this crypto in your wallet, and then all of a sudden it's just not there anymore because that chain is not supported. And I really think this was kind of egregious on the part of Binance chain. The Binance, the exchange, is supposedly separate from the team that actually runs the BNB chain. But BNB chain switched to the Binance Smart Chain, and they abandoned the Beacon chain. And for a while there, you could go back and forth between the chains. And so, back in 24, they're like, hey, we're discontinuing this chain. It is shut down. We're not using it anymore. Get your BNB off. But if you're a long-term holder that just threw your BNB on this Beacon chain, for 5 years, you're like Rip Van Winkle. You wake up and, this now worthless. Even though BNB token is worth $1,100 each, this guy may have had like 20, 30, 40, 100 BNB. I don't know. But it's in a wallet that doesn't support the Beacon chain anymore, and he's SOL. So just a cautionary tale, guys. Please don't just throw your crypto somewhere and forget about it and think it's just going to be fine, because chains become obsolete, even with high-end cryptos. But, even like an ERC20 token, it'll become worthless, and not only you might still be able to see it in your wallet, but you won't be able to sell it anywhere because it's become a dead coin. The developers abandon the project or whatever. So this whole buy and hold, till I die strategy is not always going to pay off for you. Now, if you'd bought Bitcoin, maybe, but I've seen it so many times. Doc Capital, I have requested Trezor Safe 5, Trezor Safe 7, so I am planning on doing that. So, but now, if you've got BNB tokens, and let's go to my Ledger Live over here. I've got some BNB in my Ledger wallet. And it's just a small amount, and it's only worth $31. But I also have some BNB-based Tether US dollar. That's $148 worth of Tether in my Binance Smart Chain wallet, in my Ledger, right? So, let's see, which wallet does this go to? I don't even see. I don't even know what device it goes to. Let me just check. Oh, okay, I know now. So this should be, oh, it says Flex. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's on my Flex. All right, so we've got this Tether US dollar coin. But what are we going to do with it, right? Not to mention the fact that US exchanges don't like BNB. They don't support it. You can't, I don't think you can buy BNB on Kraken. Maybe. Okay, so you can buy BNB maybe on Kraken. Let's see if they'll let me buy BNB. Okay, so they'll let me buy BNB, but if I want to deposit, well, let's go back up here. Let's say I want to deposit some Tether. Whoops. All right, so I want to deposit some Tether into my Kraken account so I can sell this token. They don't allow me to deposit Tether on the BNB chain. So I'm, SOL. Coinbase too. I don't know. Coinbase is doing some maintenance right now. I don't know if I can get into Coinbase or not. But they sure as heck don't support BNB. You can't buy BNB on Coinbase. And if you want to make a deposit of Tether, they only allow you to deposit Tether on the Ethereum network. That's it, period. None of the other chains. At least Kraken will allow you to make a deposit of Tether on multiple chains. They support a lot of chains, but they don't support BNB chain. So what am I going to do with this Tether that's on the BNB chain? I can just look at it and it looks nice, but it's not doing me any good. I could go on a BNB swap, decentralized swap platform like PancakeSwap and swap it there, but I prefer to send it to a centralized exchange and convert it. So the only way I can do that is on Binance US. So Binance US will allow me to make a deposit of crypto, of US Tether, and they support several chains, and one of the chains they support is the BNB Smart Chain. So now I have somewhere I can drop my my BNB-based Tether. So we'll copy this into my clipboard. We'll go back over here to Ledger, and we'll send this US dollar coin. We'll paste in the address of my Binance US account. This is just a warning telling me auto verification doesn't work. It's not an error. It just means that you need to eyeball it yourself. So, eyeball the address, make sure it's correct, and we'll send it. Now I'm going to need to attach my Ledger Flex. So as you can see, I manage multiple devices. Let's go over here real quick. Because these touchscreen devices allow me to put pictures on here, I can tell them apart, right? So I have my stacks, I have my Flex, and then this one is called Paris Stacks. It's got a picture of me in Paris, so I can tell them apart. So, and this one has a picture of my wife and I on the River Seine. So, pretty cool. And notice there the difference in resolution. If you look at this one, I don't know if it's going to come. There you go. See the resolution difference between the Flex, which you can kind of see the pixelation on this one, but you can really see it on this one. Yeah. That's another reason why this one's a little cheaper. But this is my Flex. This is the one that has the BNB on there. So let's go back. Oop. Okay. So I need to attach my Flex. I need to disconnect my G5, connect my Flex. All right, I'm entering my PIN. All right, I have the device ready to roll here. So we'll go to the next screen. I need to give it an amount, so I'm just going to send it all. I will hit continue, continue. Now I need to sign the transaction on the device itself. I need to allow the secure connection. All right, we'll do that here. Ugh. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're going to allow the secure connection. And then it's probably going to want me to open the BNB app. Oh, it's going to open the Ethereum app. Okay, so it's going to open the Ethereum app. All right, and I'm going to enable the transaction check, which is anti-scam protection provided by a third party. All right, now it's loading some more. Now it wants me to review the transaction. Now, you see up here, I've got the Binance BNB chain icon there. Transaction check has seen no threats. There, I'm sending my US Tether. It's clear signing here. It's telling me exactly what I'm doing. It's telling me I have a smart contract, that I'm sending 148 US Tether to that address at Kraken on the Binance Smart Chain, and I've got some BNB fees because this is a BNB wallet. All right, and then the last thing I need to do is sign the transaction. So we'll hold and sign, and boom, we're good to go. We'll go back over here, and we can see that the transaction went out. And now I've got 0 tether, and so we'll just keep an eye on Binance US, and let's see. It usually goes pretty fast on the BNB Smart Chain, which is one of the nice things about the BNB Smart Chain. It's very fast with low fees, but nobody in the US likes it. The Coinbase doesn't like it. You can buy it on Kraken, but if you really want more functionality, you need to use Binance US. So let's see. It might take a few more minutes for this to hit Binance US. In the meantime, let's look at Kraken. I wanted to show you guys some swaps in 1 inch. And in order to save some money, I'm thinking, okay, Larry, have a good one. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm going a little over tonight, but I did want to do a quick swap for you guys. So yeah, so let's put some US stablecoin in my Ledger wallet. And let's use my Ethereum stacks. Oh, okay. The Binance US just acknowledged my deposit. Okay, so there we go. So there's our deposit. Now let's withdraw this US dollar coin, or let's withdraw the tether. Actually, let's switch the tether to US dollar coin. Actually, I think what I should do is this. Yeah, tell us. I want to trade it US dollar tether. Okay, so God, I haven't used Binance US in so long. Let's do market. I just wanted to use it all. Whoops, come on there. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to buy US dollar coin with my tether. It's going to cost me not too much. Okay, so now we go back here, and I should have some US dollar coin now. Yes. Okay, so now that we've got this US dollar coin, let's move it into my ledger. Let's use the Ethereum stacks. We'll go ahead and do it on the Ethereum chain. What the heck? I don't think there's any US dollar coin in there right now. So let's do a receive. Let's skip the hardware check because I don't have that device connected right now, but I'm familiar with this address. Let's go back over. Let's put this out. Let's go back here. Let's do a withdraw. It's been a while since I've used this. Let's hit max. Now it doesn't like these long decimal points. It's going to give me a. So I'll just. Well, we'll put the 8 on there. And we'll do this on Ethereum. Let's paste in that address. Preview the withdrawal. See, they're going to charge me $5. Yeah. Kind of a bummer, but hey, those are the breaks. All right, let's hit confirm withdrawal. It wants my Google code. So I'll just go over to my Google Authenticator. And there we go. Ugh, are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. This is another thing that bugs me about Binance US. It's been less than 5 minutes since I've logged in, so they're not going to let me make a withdrawal until I've been logged in for a while. Yeah, that's a bummer. And sometimes if you do this, try to do it, like if I try right now to do it again, they're going to like suspend the withdrawals completely. And I'll have to wait like 24 hours. So I'm just going to let it ride right now. Let's just take some, we're going to withdraw some of the US, oh, this is USDG, which I want US dollar coin. So first of all, let's convert our USDG, 50% of it. Oops, sorry. Let's convert the USDG to US dollar coin. All right. And let's do 50% of it. And it's free because I'm using Binance or the Kraken Plus, I think. Kraken Plus is great, but it only works for so many trades within 1 month. After a certain amount of trades, they disable it until the following month. I think this just because I'm trading USDG that they're giving me a free conversion. Anyway, we'll convert that to US dollar coin. USDG will earn you interest if you hold it in Kraken. That's why it's better to hold it as USDG in Kraken. But now that we've got US dollar coin in our account, let's take that US dollar coin and we'll withdraw it on the Ethereum network to our Ledger device. I'm not sure if I have this address in yet. Apparently not. Okay, so we'll add that withdrawal address, and this is my stacks. All right, and we'll add that address. We'll go over and confirm. There it is. Confirm the withdrawal address. Okay, we'll go back to Kraken. All right, and we'll select the withdrawal address of my US dollar coin for stacks. Let's go ahead and send it all. Let's hit review, confirm, and off it goes. Let's try this again. I think we were trying to send it to the same place. Shave off these decimals and tell it, yeah, the ERC20 is fine. Put it in the same place. It's going to cost me $5. I need to put in my Google Authenticator code. Is it going to let me do this? There. Okay. Now I have to go get my confirmation email from them to confirm the withdrawal. And there. Now it should head to my wallet. Let's check what we got here. Let's sync up. There. So I've got the US dollar coin from Kraken. So let me show you guys some quick swaps. I know it's kind of long tonight, but I promised you I would do this. So I'm going to give it my best shot here. Let's go over to the table demo. So I'm going to need to do this on my Paris, or my go-to stacks, not my Paris stacks. It's my go-to stacks. Let's just take this off. I'm trying to think which token I want to use. Maybe we'll use, I want to use kind of a mainstream token here. Well, first we'll plug it in. All right, we'll put the pin in. Okay, and I've got this screen here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so we'll go to US dollar coin. All right, and we'll do a swap. All right, so we're going to swap some US dollar coin for something else. Let's do Link. No. Whoops. I thought this was going to be easy. Okay. All right, let me look it up here. I thought Link was LNK. Maybe, sorry. All right, let's see here. Okay. Receive on the Ethereum stacks. And I want to receive, let me just double check this here real quick. Why is Link not showing up? Thought it was a chain link. Okay, that's kind of what I'm after here. As far as I know, it's an ERC20 token, but it's not showing up over here for some bizarre reason. Okay. Oh, L-I-N-K? Okay, there. Okay. I think I was just forgetting the I. All right, so, okay, I'm okay now. Now, we're going to do this on the Ethereum network, and we want this in the Ethereum stacks, right, because we're operating from the Ethereum stacks. I have more than one device, so it can get kind of dicey. Let's go back over here to our table demo, where I've got this screen up. Okay, so how much do I want to do? And you can see I have 350 now. So the transfer from Binance US came in. Let's just do 50. All right, let's do 50. All right, now I'm going to choose 1 inch. Right, and I need to be. I'm not sure. I think I need to be in the 1 inch. Let's look here. All right, I'm pretty sure I need to be in the 1 inch app. All right, so let's get in that, and first I need to approve spending with US dollar coin. So I need to authorize that. So I'll click there and get the approval to access your token for the swap. All right, and there's going to be a gas fee for that. 4 cents, I can deal with that. All right, and then I'm going to need to sign that on my Ledger device. All right, so I need to allow the secure connection. Get this, I can see something on the side there. All right, so we allow the secure connection. All right, now it's checking app dependencies. Oh, it wants me to open Ethereum. Oh, for signing this thing. Okay. This is the approval of trading. Review transaction to approve. This is clear signing, right? It gives me a very human readable description of exactly what I'm doing here. I'm interacting with a smart contract on 1 inch and for 50, and those are my fees. I need to sign to approve trading, so I'm going to do that. All right, and then let's see what the screen's telling us here. Okay. I don't know why. Okay, it said transaction sent. Let's quit this. Yeah, it's like it kind of went back to square one. Let's put in that 50 again. Okay, we'll choose 1 inch again. It says swap with 1 inch. Okay. All right, so apparently the signature worked, but it should have kind of kept me in the interface. So we'll swap with 1 inch, and I need to sign the transaction. Okay, so now it wants me to open 1 inch on my device. Okay, so open 1 inch. All right, and so we're trading on 1 inch from within Ledger Live directly in the 1 inch app, right? So here's our instructions to swap. Here again, we've got clear signing. We're interacting with 1 inch, $50 US coin. They're going to give us back 2.6 whatever link, and it's coming into my wallet here. All right, those are the Ethereum fees. Everything is very clear and readable. Now I need to hold and sign. And transaction was signed, and we did it. All right, let's go back over here. I was planning on doing some more, but we're running way over tonight. We swapped from US dollar coin to link. And let's go back over here and see where we stand. The Ethereum stacks should have $50 worth of link in there. Now, actually, we have less US dollar coin now. We have $50 less US dollar coin. And we have approximately $50 worth of link with our fees. So you can see there that I didn't have to go use my MetaMask wallet. I didn't have to connect my device to MetaMask and sign in to the 1 inch DEX to do this. 1 inch has integrated with Ledger Live because they've partnered, the developers have partnered, so that I can do swaps and trades from within Ledger Live directly with the 1 inch DEX directly. I should have put a different connotation on that. Yeah. So Doc Capital is saying I already had. Oh yeah, he was saying I could have used something else to swap my BNB, and I probably could have, but I find it a little tedious. I used to use BNB quite often, but now that it's not so universally supported, I don't know that Ledger Live has any. I'm sure that I could have swapped within Ledger Live and Ledger Live does support Tron. I don't believe I've got any in there right now. I don't know that how I would have used Tron to convert that BNB tether, but maybe there was a way to do that from within Tron. I probably could have swapped the tether that I had in there for BNB within Ledger Live. I'm not sure, but it wouldn't have been as integrated as that 1 inch swap. That's more of a direct integration. And I wanted to demo the integration with 1inch as a demo for you guys. So, but I appreciate that, Dot Capital. Let's see here. I also, if we go to my US dollar coin, you can see that I received the 200 from Kraken. And why is this not? Seems like it's not. Has this been like this all night? Ugh. Yeah, it wasn't like totally set in the frame properly. I must have clicked on something. But yeah, so we got our 141 from Binance US, my US dollar coin. I lost $5 getting it converted or withdrawn, I think is what it was. And then I got my 200 US dollar coin from Kraken. And once I had it in my wallet as US dollar coin, I am able to swap. Now, I was thinking earlier that I would put some base token in there and do some swaps on base, but I wasn't sure what coin I wanted to buy on base. And so I just went ahead and stuck to the Ethereum chain because it's more universal. More people are probably going to be swapping on the Ethereum chain. And the Ethereum fees weren't bad. The biggest fee that I caught tonight was that withdrawal fee from Binance US, which is pretty steep. Like, out of 145 US dollar coin, they ganked me for 5, So, but the Ethereum fees were pretty reasonable. So that's it. I just kind of wanted to demo that new swap feature, and when they have that integration with Noah for the fiat on-ramps and off-ramps directly from within Ledger Live, I'll do that as well. There were so many other things I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll get to that next week about the whole open source thing and Ledger's strategy, and as opposed to Trezor's strategy. Trezor has a big commitment to open source, but that comes with trade-offs, and I was going to talk about that, but I didn't get a chance, and we're way over. So I'm going to sign off for tonight. All of you who are still with me, on-chain swap BNB US tether to BNB. Yes, Rex the 8th mentioned that, and I think that I probably could have done that if I wanted to swap directly in Ledger Live, US-based tether on the Binance Smart Chain over to BNB. I probably could have done that as well. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are thinking about that. Bonbon asked me about some food, and I showed some pictures of some of the restaurants we went to. I don't know that the one that we went to the first night was a 5-star, but it was 5-star in my book because I've never had French food in a French restaurant, and it was just an amazing experience for me. Yeah, and then that Bouillon Republic was kind of a scaled down kind of French fast food in a way, but I mean it was affordable fast food, and that's why everybody was like lined up outside. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to go back through. Oh, JDO is here tonight. Thank you for being here, JDO. I did not get to see anything being manufactured. They didn't let us into that area. And they wouldn't let us into the donjon, but it was funny because somebody said that sometimes even Pascal can't get into the donjon, so it's pretty funny. The CEO of the company, it requires high level access. Yeah. Let's see. I've talked to Doc Capital about my Trezor Safe 7. Hopefully I'll get that. I did have a small BNB balance to pay the fees when I did that transfer. So I probably could have also done the swap. Yeah. DEXs will thrive with all the regulations. Ken, good stream tonight. Good job. Very informative. yeah, I'm gonna get ready to sign off. I'm really happy that JDO came in. I hope you're feeling much better. It was great having you in as moderator. I think Dan probably took off around the top of the hour. Thank you, Dan, for being here earlier. And if you're still here, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Joseph, for your kind donation. Thank you, Dusted in Shadow, for gifting a membership tonight. No pressure. I just mentioned it because you always seem to, but I didn't mean to pressure you into doing that, but it's very kind of you. Thank you, everyone that came in early. Thank you, everyone that asked questions. If I did not get to your question, please shoot me an email. Down at the bottom of the description are ways to get a hold of me. The best way is email. Shoot me an email with a question. I'd be more than happy to answer your email questions. I'll be here again next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you all again soon. So that's it. Almost 2 hours tonight, but I was recording so I can put little pieces in smaller videos later. Thank you, everyone, and everyone have a great night. I'll see you again